Hello everyone, this is Blue Magician, and today I'd like to talk about being open about one's involvement with the occult. This concerns such diverse branches as witchcraft, magic of all sorts, not stage magic though, spell work, working with spirits, basically anything that allows us to get a glimpse beyond the reality as it appears to our physical senses. And I've been doing this for roughly the past 15 years. And for most of the time, I kept it secret. I would basically never tell a stranger or casual acquaintance that I was doing it at all. And even my close friends, most of them didn't get any intimate details from me about my work. And some time ago, this has changed. So I was taught by my teachers that you don't throw pearls before swine, and that silence is one of the four important pillars of the Solomonic Temple. And of course, there were the witch trials, right? So anything outside of mainstream spirituality was dubious, suspicious, basically, for people, and especially people working with the occult. So they tried to warn their students in their books when you were talking to them, and so on. I believe the time for a change has come. I believe what we're going through right now as a human collective requires these elements of the collective, which we as occult workers represent, to speak up and share what we got. I mean, sharing your work as, let's say, a carpenter or a software programmer or a fiction writer, anything basically. Yes, it can be hard, but there is not that issue with not being able to tell anyone else, right? I mean, sex workers probably, maybe, depends on their exact business, but basically a lot of professions you can do in the open. There is never the question of who to tell or what to tell. And we used to be priests, for example. And nowadays you only have mainstream priests, right? I mean, here in the West we have, with Christianity, we have the church and basically all the establishment. It's like in finance and power with the elites and even things like astrology. You have the establishment, and then you have the people who have to hide or think they have to hide. And I think that really needs to stop, because the things we're experiencing right now have their roots in issues with our spirituality. And we as spiritual workers have a very important function to perform there, to bring down the spiritual, tell people about where to find and how to find the spiritual in the material, and that the spiritual is important. Give them guidance, you know. I mean, they will be guided, they are guided right now, mostly by material things and things like science, which is the new religion. So what we need to do is to show them alternatives. And for a lot of people, the Catholic Church or anything related to Christianity, or let's say anything mainstream, as far as religion and spirituality is concerned, just isn't the right thing for them. A lot of people want to explore spirits, do their own spell work, not listen to a priest all the time, don't want to follow the traditions of the mainstream, basically spiritual. So that is why I believe that it is very important to be more open about our spirituality. And we don't need to go all the way. I mean, if you got a boss at work who you know abhors anything to do with religion, okay, don't tell him. Or if you live in an area in the world where there's still witch hunts or something, don't tell anyone. Okay, don't do something that is dangerous. But if you just have a vague fear or something, or the silence about those things is something that you just learned, so there is not any tangible danger to it. You can't make sense of it. It's just something that you learned, that you are conditioned to act like. Just consider throwing it overboard. Just consider reprogramming yourself. And I mean, you don't need to tell anyone you meet that you're doing candle work or that you go out at night and collect graveyard dirt or whatever it is you do. But it works well to just tell people that spirituality is a thing for you. And if they're interested and open and can take some more information, then they will pose follow-up questions to you. And then you can tell them more. But just start small, you know. Say spirituality is very important for you. I mean, some people like to play guitar in their free time, and nowadays, in the more open areas of the world, you can just tell everyone that you like yoga or that you practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is something, or Zen practice is something that even a lot of people with a mindset biased towards the material, atheism, science, and so on can accept usually, because it's about the mind, and even science says there is a mind, and so on. So they usually can accept that. So I think it's about finding the people who would benefit from maybe a more elaborate discussion of spiritual issues, and just not alienating anyone else. So that's it for now on this topic. I hope you will consider this, as I did, being more open about your spirituality. Don't let us not have ourselves guided by fears. I think that is the most important thing. And just share things with our brothers and sisters on the planet. Much love to you. Bye bye.